Hey everyone, are you ready for an epic journey? My old friend Jeff Crum and his wife Sherri planned a trip to Barcelona, Spain to travel throughout the country, in particular the Pyrenees, on motorcycles. Well, when Jeff offered me to do this, I thought, wow, this is once in a lifetime. Jeff and Sherri are very experienced. They travel all over the world on their motorcycles. They actually have motorcycles in Europe. And I said, count me in, I want to go. Well, this turned out to be one of the most epic journeys you could ever imagine. Over 3,000 kilometers throughout Spain, the Pyrenees and the Picos Mountains. We all got together. Everyone had different kinds of bikes, and we rode throughout the countryside into little villages, tasted wonderful wine and food, and saw some of the most amazing sights as we traveled along the coastlines and throughout the mountains and into the villages. It was just an amazing journey that I will never forget. And Sherri and Jeff did an awesome job of planning this. It was so much work, but they made it go off without a hitch. Every night almost, we stayed in a different hotel somewhere in some remote location, it seemed like, in Spain or in France. It was just a journey that I will never forget. There were so many favorites for me on this journey. Number one, just taking pictures because the scenery was spectacular. Number two, observing all the wonderful architecture and the mountains, the Pyrenees. They're awesome. I had no idea. They are just like the Swiss Alps in many respects. And we saw some awesome sights and sounds and huge rivers and wonderful twisty roads to drive on. Everywhere we turned, it seemed like we had another great road. Now, one of my favorite things, though, was going up into some of the villages and going on the narrow streets. It was just incredible. I'd ride my motorcycle up in there, and it was so much fun. We just had a great time. And of course, the food, well, it was over the top. Very fresh, very delicious everywhere we went. We just had a great time. Another great thing were some of the lodges that Jeff and Sherri booked us in. They were awesome. They were way up in the mountains in the middle of nowhere, and we were staying in these 4- and 5-star resorts for very inexpensively, and it was just the most beautiful and serene setting. In the afternoon, when we'd get there, generally about 4 or 5, we'd go hiking up in the mountains, and we'd see all kinds of great things, and we'd go into town in the evening to have dinner or have dinner at the hotels. But all in all, it was just an amazing journey. Every time we turned around, we saw something else that was just over the top. If it wasn't a village sitting on top of a hill, it was wandering through beautiful streets in all the beautiful cities throughout Spain. Now, I really don't have any experience on road bikes at all. I've got a fair amount of experience on dirt bikes, but I've never been on a touring bike where you travel thousands of kilometers and you're on twisty roads in the backcountry. And I have to tell you, I absolutely loved it. It really put you in touch with nature. You were outdoors, you could feel and experience and smell the air and the different temperature changes. It was really a great experience. I liked it way more than driving my car, and I have a beautiful car that I drive fast on the twisties, but really motorcycles, it's a whole nother level. I enjoyed it, and it was quite challenging as well. Along on the trip with Joel and Robert, they were a total hoot. They're friends of Jeff and Sherri, and they were great sports as we laughed in the evening and we drove like crazy people during the day, all throughout this beautiful country of Spain and France. Now, one of my favorite experiences when I was up in one of these little villages wandering around, I met Maria, who had a little tiny restaurant, a little store. She invited me in and she made me tomatoes and garlic and olive oil. It was just absolutely fantastic. She was so winsome and friendly. And then her mother came out with all the dogs, and the dogs were so cute, and we played with them. And then the whole team got together and we took a picture on the bridge right outside her door. And it was just so beautiful. This village is over 1,000 years old. And of course, Jeff and Sherri messing around, flipping me off just for fun, because we're always having a good laugh on someone. So remember, every 30 days, a significant opportunity passes in front of every human being. The question is, are you awake? Jeff and Sherri, you gave me a great opportunity, and thank you for the wonderful trip and the amazing planning.